Hi guys, today we will be looking at a people called the Byzantines. Who were they? Now, first of all, people haven't even agreed on how to pronounce their name. I've heard Byzantine, I've also heard Byzantine, which is what I prefer, and there's a few more. But in any case, the Byzantines got their name from their city of Byzantium, or Constantinople, which is today called Istanbul, in Turkey. So, who were the Byzantines? Long story short, they were the eastern half of the Roman Empire that spoke Greek instead of Latin. Only they didn't call themselves Byzantines. They would have said, "We are Romans." But not to the people who wrote the history books. How did this come about? Now, as you remember, in the ancient days you had the Roman Empire. It covered Western and Central Europe, as well as Eastern Europe, North Africa, Egypt, and the Middle East. And as you've probably heard, something big happened in AD 476. The Roman Empire disappeared, and its western half entered the Dark Ages. But what about the eastern half? Well, the emperor in the eastern capital of Byzantium, or Constantinople, kept on ruling, and ruling, and ruling, and in fact kept it right up until 1453, when the Turks captured Constantinople and ended the Eastern Roman Empire. And so, the Eastern Roman Empire was alive and well all this time. The emperor did not call himself a Byzantine emperor. He called himself Basileos ton Romeon, Emperor of the Romans. So, how come we still call them Byzantines instead of Romans? Basically, because of two reasons. The first reason is pretty simple. When we say Roman, we usually think of laurel wreaths, togas, Julius Caesar, ancient Roman stuff. So we call the Eastern Romans Byzantines, just to keep it simple. Now, the second reason is a little bit more complicated. Around the 9th century AD, the Pope in Rome, mostly to increase his own power, took a Germanic king and gave him the title Emperor of the Romans, later known as the Holy Roman Emperor, which was a problem because now there were two powerful men who called themselves Emperor of the Romans. Now, why did the emperor in the West keep this title, but not the emperor in the East? Basically because the Eastern Romans ended up on the wrong side of history. When the Eastern Roman Empire was wiped out by the Turks, no one was left to argue with the Holy Roman Empire. So the Westerners could claim that they were the heirs of the Romans, and those guys in the East were just a bunch of Greeks. This changed slightly in the 16th century, when a thinker came up with the name Byzantine. And so the world has called them Byzantines. Except in the Muslim world, where they have always been known as Rumi, Romans. That's all for this week. See you guys next time.